race as well. More to come over the weekend. But that St. Hubert machine, the Dry Shine back machine, the Tag 1 Motorsport machine. I mean, he's really good at the sponsor game. We'll give him credit where as well, and it's a food sponsor, so that certainly motivates me. But fair play to himself and Brady Clapham, able to keep it clean today. No battles between them. It should be a friendly conversation down pit road.
Yeah, absolutely. If you look at the best lap to, ooh, there's some damage to the back of the 95 of Jesse Lambert as well. So he's had an eventful run in the 95. We didn't get to see that, but Lambert will be thankful to come home inside the top 10 in 6th spot. But just to give you an idea of how quick both Brady Clapham and Alex Tagliani were, their best lap times, a 106.21 to a 106.26. So best lap time separated by 5/100ths of a second.
That is incredibly close as well, but fair play. Timothy Bernot into the 106.
Big congratulations to your race winner, Alex Tagliani, as he gets unstrapped and unbuckled. And he'll jump out. And I'm not sure if he's headed to the podium or if he's just going to jump into the NASCAR Canada Series car, which is right up next on our schedule. But a congratulations from the crew as Tagliani visits the victory lane, and he'll get to taste the victory missed winning moment here at the Grand Prix de Trois-Rivières. Big congratulations to your winner, Alex Tagliani, in the Pro class, and to Cedric O'Hayan in the Masters class. Again, another opportunity to taste the victory missed celebration moment. Daniel Zippy Salmon, I'm Dave Bradley. Thanks very much for joining us and watching the FEL M Zone Radical Cup Canada presented by Michelin.
Good job, buddy. Good job, man. Good job. We'll talk after.
To the Grand Prix. Hello and welcome to the Grand Prix de Trois-Rivières. I'm Dave Bradley. Joined with me is Adam Ross as we get set for something different this year in 2026 here at the Grand Prix de Trois-Rivières. We had qualifying earlier in the day, but get ready for the Omnifab Sprints. And this has never been done in the NASCAR Canada Series. And if you're thinking, what is that? Think back to Daytona, the Daytona 500, and how they set their qualifying for that race. Adam, it is going to be interesting because there is some extra incentive on the line.
Well, it's interesting because it's a race at the Grand Prix de Trois-Rivières, and it's just a big deal. So qualifying took place earlier on. Time trials, traditional. The results of that qualifying set the front row for tomorrow's 60-lap main event this weekend, but the entire grid is set for these twin qualifying races here today, the Omnifab Sprints. All of the odd number qualifiers, race number 1, even number qualifiers, race number 2. That is how they will determine the lineup for every position third on back.
But add another incentive to run hard because the top 5 finishers will get points to the overall point standings in the season. So you can't just go out and lay back and be a lame duck, or you can, but you'll be giving up some potential championship points and leaving that on the table.
And that really only affects the top starter in each of these races, because everyone else, every pass you can make in this race is 2 spots in tomorrow's starting grid. So a huge advantage to those drivers. I don't think we'll see the kind of, I don't want to call it carnage, but I want to call it physical racing, elbows up, use the fenders where you need to. I don't think we're going to see that today, but we're going to see people drive hard to try to find advantage.
Yeah, they do have a long time to fix it, if you want to put it that way. But then again, if you tear it up too badly, you'll end up having to go to the back anyway. So it's of no benefit to do that. It is very much a sprint race. It's not just a sprint race in name. The Omnifab Sprint's just 15 laps. So it's going to be go right from the get-go.
And 15 laps is a longer run than any of these teams do on track, except for the big event Sunday. And traditionally, they'll go out there and in practice, they might run 10 laps, 11 laps in multiple sessions. They'll go out, run a few laps, come in, run a few laps more. So 15 laps, you are stretching your legs. They'll get a good idea of tire wear. We still are on the McCreary tire, which they've never raced here at GP3R. And if you've never been to this event, unbelievable to see the overall look of this facility in this part of Trois-Rivières.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the grounds, the city really embraces this motorsports festival. Let's just call it that, because it really is. The town comes alive. All of downtown gets closed off to cars, and it's just a pedestrian party after the races, both Friday night and Saturday night. But, you know, the entire town comes out to watch the NASCAR Canada Series, which is the marquee event on Sunday afternoon to cap off the Grand Prix of Trois-Rivières. And there you can see the starting order is getting set here on the front straightaway.
Safety vehicles on track. They've had some cleanup to do. They will check out the facility. Dave, you're cultured and well-versed in the French language. Why is a horse track called the Hippodrome?
That's a really good point. I don't know. But I grew up calling it a hippodrome.
What's horse in French?
Not a hippo.
Okay.
It's a cheval.
That's what I thought. I didn't want to show how
I don't know, maybe,
uncouth I am.
Maybe at one point they raced hippos. That's, you know.
It's fun to say.
It's fun to say. But yeah, it's a cool area. And yeah, it's just a neat place. Oh, so here it is. It comes from 2 ancient Greek words, hippos, which means horse, and dromos, which means course. So it's a horse course.
It's more fun to say horse course.
I'm going to change it. Every time I see a horse track, I'm going to call it a horse course.
So we are awaiting the command, the most famous words in motorsport. This is going to be fun. It's going to be Jake Dumoulin, whose father, Jean-Francois Dumoulin, almost won this race years ago if it wasn't for his dastardly brother LP when they crashed together. Right, that's how important this weekend is to race teams, particularly if you're from Trois-Rivières. Tanya Bodine going to throw it to the introduction. We don't get to hear what she's saying, but we get to see that she's saying it, and it's en français, Dave. That means in French. Nope, that's the national anthem. The main event for Saturday here at GP3R. And we go to Jake Dumoulin.
And there we go. The engines have fired here on the front straightaway.
Omnifab, a big supporter of the Dumoulin brothers, and they have been for years. What a fascinating starting grid we've got. How about Simon Charbonneau outside row number 1? He was only a few hundredths of a second off from being our pole sitter for tomorrow's race.
Yeah, that was a huge surprise. If you missed qualifying a little bit earlier on and you were looking for the regular cast and crew to be at the front, you do have some of that. Yes. You've got Marc-Antoine Cameron, you've got Kevin Lacroix who will lead off race number 2, but you have drivers like Simon Charbonneau up near the front. You know, Alex Labbe is in there. Look at LP Dumoulin. He's been hunting. He's been quick in practice and quick in qualifying too.
LP Dumoulin is a veteran, a multi-time series champion. He knows track position tomorrow matters. So he wants to get out there and put his best foot forward. But there's 2 drivers I want to keep a keen eye on in this one. One of them is Connor Bell, driver of the Diamond number 3. He has not shown the speed that he would have expected here this week, and he knows these are his events to really shine. That 3 car hasn't been lightning quick the way you would expect. The other one, a newcomer to the series from Lebanon, Pennsylvania, Jared Oldrick in the 24.
Yeah, so those are some of the stories we'll be watching over the course of this first Omnifab sprint. But right now, while we have a little bit of a downtime, we'll take our first break. You're watching the NASCAR Canada Series. And welcome back to the Grand Prix de Trois-Rivières as we get set for the first of 2 OmniFab sprints. Something new here in 2026. 15-lap sprint races to set the qualifying order for tomorrow's Car Gurus 45, which will happen tomorrow afternoon. I'm Dave Bradley. Joined with me in the booth is Adam Ross, and the drivers now trying to get some heat in their Mercury tires. And this is overall a festival of motorsports, and there's a variety of different classes that hit the track over the course of this weekend. Last class on track did have to deal with a passing shower. Good news, that appears to have cleared. We're in bright, beautiful sunshine right now.
That's what passing showers do, Dave.
If they didn't pass, they'd be a shower, and we'd be. But we're not, and that's the good news. It is very, very hot, very muggy here today, so that does affect some of the drivers. And it affects the cars, too, because Marc-Antoine Cameron told me one year that the wind does not blow through these concrete walls, and it makes it difficult to keep the brakes cool and keeps the engines cool. Not necessarily a factor in a 15-lap race.
No, but what that does help to illustrate, not only does the wind not blow, you get no breeze, these drivers have no visibility around the next turn. So those walls are more than just barriers to the wind, they're barriers to your sight line as well. So things can happen in a big hurry here, and that's why spotters are very valuable, corner workers are very valuable, and we're gonna see all of that at play here.
Take it through the starting lineup. Marc-Antoine Cameron will lead Simon Charbonneau, and then it's Alex Labbé and LP Dumoulin, Will LaRue and DJ Kennington, along with Matthew Kingsbury and Connor Bell. Justin Arsenault, there's another driver that you should keep an eye on. He doesn't run very often in the NASCAR Canada Series, but he does run very well when he runs here. And then Dave Corsol, Hermie Drescher, Dominic Scrivo, Ben Couture, Jacques Guenette, and Jared Odrick in the 24, who had some problems in practice, did make the call for this first OmniFab sprint.
I am very impressed he made the call. They did an engine change after qualifying.
Yeah, that's a big overhaul of that 24 car. So he has to come from the back. This is his very first NASCAR Canada Series start. Now, he has run here in the past, driving an AMG Mercedes years ago, but these cars obviously very different, and he's up to the challenge. He's running the TA2 series, the Trans Am series down in the U.S. As a matter of fact, he's the defending series champion in that, or the championship leader, I should say, in that class. And so these cars run somewhat similar. I'm not going to say exactly the same. They don't necessarily have the same downforce, but it's getting more and more comfortable.
But they're a muscly car.
Exactly.
Big brute of a race car. He and his wife both run in the Trans Am Series stateside.
Former football player, former NFL football player, as a matter of fact, is Jared Odrick. So he'll start shotgun on the field as the Napa pace car heads down pit lane. You see the field lined up 2 by 2, a short field, because this is just half the number of cars that are in the paddock here this weekend for the Grand Prix de Trois-Rivières, the first of 2 OmniFab sprints. 15-lap qualifying races set to take place, and look at how tightly they are. But do you think Simon Charbonneau wants to get a jump on this field?
I love what he's doing. Nose out ahead of Cameron. I think that's the right way to approach this pace lap. There might be some nerves involved if you're Charbonneau. Marc-Antoine Cameron, 11 victories in GP3R competition, 22 podium finishes. He knows his way around this place.
Yeah, he's won here twice in the NASCAR Canada Series in 23 and 24, and we're green and so far clean into turn number 1.
Great start for Simon Charbonneau. Cameron getting out front. Alex Labbé picks up the 3rd spot. 2 of the more gentlemanly drivers in the series, DJ Kennington and Will LaRue, side by side as they go under the Duplessis gates.
Oh, and there's contact. Jared Odrick into the 69 of Dominic Scrivo, and Scrivo does kiss the wall off of turn number 3. At this point, it's just a local caution. We stay green.
Yeah, should have plenty of time to get that car rolling once again as Connor Bell battling alongside Matthew Kingsbury. Kingsbury showed a lot of speed earlier in practice.
And the black marks that Connor Bell left on the exit of turn number 6, trying to hop on the loud pedal to get around the 9. He did not, as the Juro King Chevrolet battles back. Still is Marc-Antoine Cameron, Simo Charbonneau, and Alex Labbe, your top 3 drivers.
So with points on the line, Cameron has difficult decisions to make. He is locked in as the outside pollster. So we are actually watching OmniFab Sprint race number 2. No, we're not.
No.
Because I thought they said Tagliani was supposed to be in race number 1, and it really boggled my mind when we didn't see him in the lineup, so I wasn't
Yeah,
sure.
you're right. This is race number 2. So he did
Cameron
qualify
missed the
in
pole.
second.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this would be the outside lane qualifiers. Because Tagliani was in the race that was just on track, there would be no time to switch him over from car to car.
I was confident in my statement until you looked at me. I mean, the look is, what?
Did I miss a race? That's what I thought.
So race number 2 becomes race number 1.
Indeed.
So Cameron is locked into the outside pole tomorrow for the Grand Prix de Trois-Rivières.
And you can see everybody's sort of settled out, and you're right, the aggression level is not necessarily there at this point. Every position is super important for where you start tomorrow in the Car Gurus 45, but you don't want to risk it. It's a risk-reward kind of thing, as Simo Charbonneau and the 96 Marc-Antoine Cameron have stretched a bit of a gap now on the 36 of Alex Labbe.
If you remove Marc-Antoine Cameron, he's going to start second tomorrow. The finishing order of this race is going to be the outside row, all the even number spots, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, all the way back through to 30 in tomorrow's race. And for drivers like Jared Oldrick, for Connor Bell, who I think feels like he should be a little closer to the front than where he qualified, this race really means something. For a driver like DJ Kennington, who is the ultimate pacer to get to the end and get the most value out of a race, he wants to protect that Castrol 17, so they have no work to do tonight other than routine maintenance.
Yeah, and that's typically what DJ Kennington does. You don't see him go make Hail Mary passes and tear things up, especially not in a race like this. You know who doesn't? The 47 WeatherTech Dodge of LP Dumoulin, another driver, very much uses his head. Maturity is something that we can use around Kennington, LP Dumoulin. LP really loves winning this race. It's his hometown, but he's not going to risk it on a driver like Alex Labbe to throw in a hard pass knowing what he would give up if it doesn't go well. You
have to wonder, though, what goes through their mind. This will be their view tomorrow coming to the green flag. Everyone who's in front of them will be in front of them. Boy, one row forward, one more spot closer to the lead sure would be nice. That's not going to happen on lap 2 or 3, but I think by the time we get to lap 10 or so and these cars kind of settle in and maybe drivers or tires start to wear out, get warm, you might see them trying to take advantage.
And we should tell you, too, if you missed off the top of the show, that the top 5 drivers will receive championship points. So there's that added extra incentive to maybe climb the ladder just a little bit higher.
So Odrick has passed a few cars, not quite up to the top 10 just yet. We focus closer to the front. That's Alex Labbe in the 3rd spot. LP Dumoulin using a bit of that runoff area. How impressive is Will LaRue, driver of that 45? No matter where we go, Will LaRue seems to perform, run very steady on the track.
Yeah, he does. He has shown maturity beyond his years for sure. The 45 definitely more competitive on oval tracks than he is on road courses, but we saw him earlier this season at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park in the 45, and he did very, very well in the LaRue Industrial Snowblowers Chevrolet. An interesting story about the 3rd place car driven by Alex Labbe. That car has been sold. Nicolas Barrett, who runs in the Coupe Canada, the Canada Challenge Series, which is the Nissan Zeds and the Nissan Sentras, he is going to drive that car next year. But Alex Labbe could potentially be back in a different ride next year, running select races as well. That's still up in the air. We know Barrett will be in the field, but Will Labbe, still a question mark.
Actually, very similar sized drivers.
Yeah, it's true.
So Simon Charbonneau is dropping back into the clutch of Alex Labbe in the 36, LP Dumoulin in the 47. He has lost touch with the race leader, Marc-Antoine Cameron, but second back through 6th. all run virtually nose to tail.
Just want to see the right side tires. It looks like, yeah, LeBay has white-walled the right rear tire of that 36 car. So he's gone wide somewhere around, I'm going to guess it's right there, because that's where Simon Charbonneau almost tagged that wall too. But you can see there's concrete dust on that McCreary tire on the right rear corner.
And it looked to me like Dumoulin had done the same with the right front.
Oh, Simon Charbonneau in hard in turn number 6, misses the braking zone, and he will give up second spot. Can he hang on to third, though?
Yeah, he shuffles himself in there behind LeBay to get back up to speed nicely. Matthew Kingsbury overshoots the corner, kind of makes you wonder.
He was in 7th spot in that battle with Connor Bell. Oh, this is going to hurt.
Well, he goes from potentially a 13th place starting spot to a
Here's what happened to Charbonneau, and again, hard on the brakes. There's a lot of bumps there, and that's affecting some of the drivers. And it just looked like it hopped a little bit. And that was contact between Connor Bell and Matthew Kingsbury. So that's the other incident in turn number 6.
A couple of things happening there at the same time. Now, Kingsbury got rolling again after a many-point turn. We look out in front, Cameron with a healthy lead over Alex LeBay. Charbonneau maintains a 3rd spot. Comes back to the scene of the crime.
Yeah, it works a little bit better this time, but he's got a lot of pressure from some vets behind him, including LP Dumoulin, who's won this race twice, separated by 5 years, 2014 and 2019. The WeatherTech Dodge visited Victory Lane in front of a hometown crowd, and yeah, he knows his way around this place, and you can see that car wiggling, so he's pushing.
He's driving the car hard, not taking chances yet, but as much as anything, if he can force Charbonneau into a mistake, he doesn't have to put his car in any kind of precarious position. Just keep showing your nose, different spots around the racetrack, and forces Charbonneau to glance up into the mirror, even subconsciously.
And hats off to Charbonneau. Yes, he did miss that braking zone to give up second place. He didn't wad it up in the wall. He didn't even have to take the runoff area. So really metered the pressure he put on the pedals and managed to get around turn number 6. And losing only 1 spot when you miss a braking zone, that's really a win.
Yeah, could definitely be worse. As they work through 4A down to 5 into turn number 6. Heavy braking, and man, he sent that car deep again. Oh, Will LaRue does the same thing. It's a little squirrely.
I think he wheel hopped the back end trying to drop gears, and the 45 went tail happy crossways. Not a full spin, but enough to cost him 1 position, so move DJ Kennington up into the 5th spot.
He caught that car very nicely. Dumoulin to the inside through turn number 9.
That's a great passing opportunity, and there are few true passing opportunities here at the Grand Prix de Trois-Rivières. It's an 11-turn circuit, just under 2.5 kilometers around, but turn number 6 and turn number 9 are probably your 2 best opportunities.
LP Dumoulin is all up in Charbonneau's kitchen.
He's putting the dishes away at this point.
Holy moly.
Well, you can see Alex LeBay is starting to stretch away from this battle. Still, the 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron, 1.9 seconds further up the road.
Jared Oldrick up into the 9th spot. That's an impressive run for that driver. Welcome to NASCAR Canada. And that's a tight pack right there. It's the field coming around. Jacques Gannett in the 93.
See, LeBay caught him in the right time. Now look at Gannett move way to the outside, picking up Lotte Quebec as a sponsor for this weekend. But heads up move by Jacques Gannett to let the leaders go around as Dumoulin starts to dig on the 88 of Simon Charbonneau once again.
Right up on the rear bumper of the 88, not making any contact, but just continuously applying pressure. Charbonneau gets a good run off of turn 11 down towards turn number 1. Dumoulin again shows his nose to the inside. And whether he's there or not, Charbonneau sees that moves being made.
remember the last time these road course cars were out was at Calabogie Motorsports Park, and that 88 car ended up wadded up, getting caught up in an incident mid-race after moving up through most of the field. He had a fast race car. They only finished repairing that car on Wednesday.
That doesn't surprise me, but he had to show up excited, knowing that he had passed a lot of race cars that day in Calabogie. He qualified great, practiced great today. He's holding off multi-time series champions and former GP3R winners.
DJ Kennington has a Grand Prix de Trois-Rivières win to his credit, which, you know, a lot of people, that might be a trivia question, as LP Dumoulin gets to the inside contact. Around goes the 88 of Simon Charbonneau. Kennington hops on the brakes. Charbonneau gasses it up to get out of the way, and he loses a number of spots, but he manages to get going once again.
Charbonneau's spotter let him down there. Either that or like there had to be communication of what was coming, and a lot of situational awareness there, as he's going to slot in around the 7th spot ahead of Connor Bell.
Yeah, so that is a big miss. Keep in mind that every position you lose in this race is 2 in your starting spot for tomorrow. But yeah, you're right. He left that door open. The 47 was there. He had a nose on the inside, and that contact was almost unavoidable at that point. LP Dumoulin would have had to stop in order to stop that pass from happening.
And if he came out of nowhere, I could see it coming as a surprise, but he had been harassing him lap after lap after lap after lap everywhere he could. So Charbonneau's got to feel if he's offline even a touch, LP's going to jump in. Either way, what happened happened. Neither car wrecked. Charbonneau loses a couple of spots. It's Justin Arsenault's game. He's up into the 6th spot.
Finally moving forward is the driver, the 8 out of the EHR stable. There's Marc-Antoine Cameron. He started on pole for this race and has led every step of the way. A 3.4 second lead. 11 laps in the books. The GM Paillet number 96. And again, this is we talk about a big race for LP Dumoulin, JF Dumoulin. This is a big race for the owner of GM Paillet. JC Paillet has his business here in Trois-Rivières. He brings a huge crowd of people and supporters to this race. To see his sponsored car stand in victory lane is a big moment for JC Paillet.
I swore I saw a puff of smoke out of the 17 of DJ Kennington there.
Might have seen it from the 47 of LP Dumoulin. He does have that tire mark on the right front corner. Keep an eye on the Castrol Dodge. DJ Kennington, as Will LaRue flashes by.
One of our spotters suggesting it might have been LaRue in the 45.
Keep an eye on it. It doesn't appear to be all over the place. So that might have been the problem. Maybe a braking issue. When he did get a little bit crossways, or he might have flat spotted the tire when he did that, which would generally lead to more flat spots, because when you get the tire out around, it finds its happy little home, and that's usually the flat spot.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. There's Ben Couture. They had problems in practice, made repairs for qualifying, keeping that car between the walls. Have we talked about the treacherous nature of Trois-Rivières?
Not enough.
It is a concrete jungle.
It is, and it's intimidating to new drivers, and you can't make a mistake. We say there's no runoff. There is some runoff areas, but if you do make a mistake, it's a good chance you're going to end up in a concrete wall.
You can make a mistake on the entry of turn 6. Don't screw up the exit. That hurts. You can make a mistake on the entry of turn 3. Don't screw up the exit, because you've got some runoff to the right. Turn 1, you've got a little bit of runoff.
Yeah.
If you want to spin out, maybe you could do it there. Turn 2, you're not only going to eat concrete, you're going to eat a whole bunch of steel from the cars coming in afterwards.
That's true. And we've seen other areas like turn number 9. If you get turned around, there's not a lot of room to run and hide there. That's a good look at Dominic Scrivo in the Sierra Excavating number 69. Again, a driver that left Calabogie Motorsports Park with significant damage, and he's already had a turn around. But Dominic Scrivo currently sitting in 13th position, chasing Jared Hodrick, who made the contact that sent him spinning.
Alex Labay was a couple tenths of a second faster in our race leader, Marc will likely be faster this lap as well as Cameron closes in on some slower traffic and takes his time. He's being patient, no need to force the issue, but he did check up a little bit. So depending how LeBay closes in on Dominic Scrivo, he may close this gap even further on this lap. But with laps winding down, we're about to start lap 14 out of 15. I don't think Cameron's too worried about being patient, which is not his strong suit.
No, he normally is all go right from the drop of the green. As we see, the white flag is up. One more lap to go for your race leader, Marc-Antoine Cameron, with a significant 2.3 second lead. But you're right, that lead chopped down by almost a second that last lap because Marc-Antoine Cameron was navigating lap traffic.
If we look at fastest laps of the race, 109.1, 109.1, 109.2, 109.2, 109.1. The top five are virtually identical lap times. So they were able to flex their muscle at different times, were able to stretch the legs of these race cars. These are the tires they're going to start tomorrow's race on. So that's a big deal. Flat spots today is going to mean nightmares tomorrow because it doesn't get better.
No, it doesn't cure itself overnight. That's one of the things that you can't just say, well, you know, my tire's damaged, I need a new one. NASCAR officials will say, you damaged it, that's your fault. You deal with it. It's a vibration to start tomorrow's race. So Marc-Antoine Cameron with some clean air behind him. Alex LeBay has managed to close the gap a little bit, but he will run out of time. And the checkered flag will wave in the first of two Omnifab sprints. The win going to the 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron.
Now, if you're a statistician, does this count as a win, GP3R? Is he now a 12-time winner?
I guess it would.
And 23 podiums, closing in on Jocelyn Hebert's 25 podiums.
Who has been declared the king of GP3R. So, yeah, we can nearly crown Marc-Antoine Cameron is getting up there anyway. But, yeah, super successful at this track in a variety of different cars. Anything from Formula 1600 to sports cars and now the NASCAR Canada Series. But definitely knows his way around this one. It hasn't been an easy road to victory lane for the 96 driver here. He's had his struggles here at GP3R in this series, but lately it's been very, very good. As a matter of fact, his last three feature races out here, a win, and a second place.
It's not bad, is it?
Not bad at all. So as they head back to pit lane, we're going to take a quick break. Big congratulations to the winner of the first of two Omnifab sprints, Marc-Antoine Cameron. welcome back as we take a look at some of the highlights here, or lowlights of the first of two OmniFab sprints. Pretty competitive race, but it gave us a chance to see how tight this field is going to be come race day. And that is super tight. I mean, the lap times were separated by hundredths of a second through essentially the top 10.
And everybody turning those fastest lap times on different laps, but we saw mistakes. Kingsbury makes that mistake into turn 6. Aldrich makes that mistake into 6, corrected it pretty quickly. Charbonneau is about to make what I think is just an error in racecraft.
Yeah, it was the 47 of LP Dumoulin who was in along on the inside, and Charbonneau tried to close the door. The unfortunate for him, the nose was still in there, and he went around. Good news, he didn't get hit by anybody else.
Justin Arsenault did a nice job to avoid that. Cameron uncontested, though, during that race. This is the cool-down lap, in case you're wondering, with the hand out the window.
So we'll take you through the top 10. Marc-Antoine Cameron, Alex Labbé, LP Dumoulin, DJ Kennington, Will LaRue, Justin Arsenault, Simo Charbonneau, Connor Bell, Herbie Drescher, and Matthew Kingsbury, your top 10 finishers for that race. So the field for the second OmniFab sprint getting set up here on the front straightaway. And this one will be led by the 74 of Kevin Lacroix, who actually qualified on pole. He out-qualified Marc-Antoine Cameron, but they inverted the first OmniFab sprint, pushed it to the second one because Alex Tagliani was running a radical race, which just finished.
Well, this race was radical.
It was radical, and this one is going to be probably even more radical. So we'll take you through the starting lineup of this one, and it'll be Kevin Lacroix alongside Andrew Ranger. You talk about some heavy hitters here. Lacroix and Ranger would be two of the heaviest. Alex Gannett has won here in the past. Vittorio Girelli, who's a former NASCAR Euro Series champion, he's going to start in the 50 car inside the top 5. And then Alex Tagliani, a former winner here. Sam Fellows, very quick. JF Dumoulin hasn't found his speed yet, but you know he has it. He's finished as a runner-up here and has knocked on the door for a race win. He's in this second of two OmniFab sprints. And then you have Raphael Lazard in the 7, Donald Teague in the 73, JP Bergeron in the 1, Simon Zion Vienne, Martin Goulet, Sylvain Ouellette, Serge Bordeaux, Larry Jackson will round out the field in the 84. But yeah, talk about some big names in the NASCAR Canada Series. You're going to find a lot of them in this second of two OmniFab sprints.
Bonus points in effect, as we talked about, for the top 5 finishers. Girelli doesn't care.
No.
He's here as a one-off, but a great starting spot for tomorrow's GP3R. Kevin Lacroix scheduled to take the field from the pole, and it's been JF Dumoulin's sons giving the command, Jake Dumoulin and Nolan Dumoulin, and I can see them chomping at the bit to get this one underway.
The local announcer in the flashy suit speaking in French, introducing the two celebrities who will get this one underway.
And as is customary, you waste no time in the introduction.
Done in both English and French, and then the local announcer did it once again too. Why not? Everybody can say it. That's the Motors Fire here on the front stretch at the Grand Prix de Trois-Rivières. We'll take a quick break and be back with green flag action. You're watching the NASCAR Canada Series. And welcome back to Saturday at the Grand Prix de Trois-Rivières and the second of two OmniFab 15-lap sprints for the NASCAR Canada Series. I'm Dave Bradley, joined in the booth by Adam Ross as the field sitting running on the front straightaway behind the Napa pace car. And if the first OmniFab sprint was any indication, I think this one is going to be just sorted out and see what happens. Not a lot of aggression. We did see some in race number one. Holes opened up, drivers tried to fill them. Race car drivers do what race car drivers do, but there's not a lot of just really hard driving, pounding it into corners.
No, but just like in the first race, I'm going to keep an eye on the 04 of JF Dumoulin, who is notoriously and self-admittedly not the best qualifier. Well, this gives him the opportunity to race a couple of rows further closer to the front, because he's always a contender in these races. And when he was running with us full time, you can see Cameron, and I would imagine that was the exit of turn 3.
Yeah, that's the wall kicks out there. Sorry to disrupt your line of thought. Well,
Are you sorry?
I wanted to point out the damage on the 96 car. So Cameron, he walked away from the field. He won by about 3 seconds over the 36 of Alex LeBay, but it wasn't just a cakewalk. He was pushing.
Marc-Antoine Cameron is a calculated animal. Like,
that's a really good point, yeah.
Man, he drives that car hard. He wants to drive it to the limit because you need to know where the limit is. He knows he's not going to hurt the car, putting a couple of marks on it. They'll have that polished up by tomorrow as the field rolls. But I do think this race is a big opportunity for JF Dumoulin to step up and maybe pick up a couple of spots. Like, I don't think anyone's going to make uninformed moves, but I think people are going to be aggressive.
I think so too, and I think a driver like Sam Fellows in the AER number 87, he's a driver who is quietly steady, along the same lines as a DJ Kennington, especially here at GP3R. He likes to quietly move forward, takes care of his equipment, and that's a big bonus for the 87 car. So you won't see him make incredible passes right off the hop, but it's a good chance that car will get better. Take a look at the starting lineup, and there it is. Kevin Lacroix, Andrew, two very big names here at GP3R starting on the front row. Alex Gannett, a new look to the 39, starting alongside Vittorio Girelli in the 50. So that is row number 2. Then we take a look back to row number 3, and Alex Tagliani and Sam Fellows, the aforementioned number 87. JF Dumoulin does have to come from deep in this field in the 04, the OmniFab backed entry, but he can do it. And then Raphael Lessard has been racing NASCAR Euro Series so far this season, makes his return to the NASCAR Canada Series.
Donald Teague in a one-off weekend driving the 73, so no owner's points involved. JP Bergeron in the 1, Simon Dion-Vien in the 37, Martin Goulet Jr. in the 83, who's been impressive when we've seen him out this year.
Sylvain Ouellette drives another Donald Teague entered car in the 94, Serge Bordeaux in the 55, and then rounding out the field, the 84 of Oakville, Ontario's Larry Jackson.
Let's talk about hero laps, Dave. Hero laps is what our drivers do in qualifying. They turn low minute 8-second laps. Nobody did that in the OmniFab Sprint 1. They were all in the 109s, 109.1, 109.2. That wouldn't even have qualified you in the top 10 in time trials. So there's a difference between a good race lap and a good qualifying lap. Don't ask me what it is, because I don't know, but these drivers find a full second. In those 11 turns, those drivers find a full second, whether it's daring, whether it's overdriving the car and hoping it sticks. I don't know what it is, but they don't do it when they race.
It might be tire pressure set up. You know, they tape up the grill of the cars for those qualifying laps, knowing they can run them a little bit warm and then just cool them off by parking them down pit side, so that those could all play into a good lap. But yeah, what is the magic that makes a second difference? That's a huge difference.
The reason I say that is because it surprised me when we showed the top 10 in the last race. They're all minute 9.1 and minute 9.2. 2/3 of this field could run lap times that'll win this race. Only one driver's going to win this race. Same with tomorrow. So that fascinates me that we have heat races, because nobody's going to go out and run those hero laps in this race. You got to keep the fenders on the car. You got to have one that's going to last yourself 15 laps.
Alex Alex Tagliani took a bit of a break there going down into turn number 3. I'm not sure if he was re-indexing his steering wheel or tightening up his belts a little bit, but the number 80 slid back, and we'll try to find his hole once again. You can see him moving up alongside on the outside of the back straight, or maybe actually I think he has found his spot.
I thought he started in the 5th spot in this.
He seems to hang on, let's take a look at that.
Boy, if only we had a graphic on the screen 45 seconds ago. Tagliani was the 9th fastest car, so he should be. I wonder if he got a penalty because they had to switch the races around. That doesn't make sense.
That would put him right to the back.
Maybe it wasn't that big a penalty.
That's okay.
We want you to go as far back as you think is appropriate.
You know what, though? I'm going to look forward to this because this is Alex Tagliani trying to drive up through the field, and that's going to be good, especially here at GP3R. He's won a radical race already today. He's visited victory lane, so he knows what it's like. Now he's got to change his thinking just a little bit from a high downforce car to a brute in the NASCAR Canada Series. As the Napa pace car looks for pit lane, the field doubles up through the final set of corners.
I promise our loyal viewers that tomorrow we will find out what happened to Tagliani if he was docked a 2-row penalty, which I've never heard of. But he's going to start closer to 10th than 5th.
Pace car is in. The field slows through turn number 10 and now turn number 11, heading out onto the front straightaway. Second place in points is Kevin Lacroix. Andrew Ranger has dominated here at GP3R. He's got 5 wins to his credit. The green flag waves, and we're underway in the second of 2 Omnifab sprints.
Down into turn number 1. It is all former GP3R champions out in front. Lacroix, Ranger, Alex Gannett, and then one driver who's never podiumed here, and he's from Fasano, Italy.
Girelli in the 50, the Russo Metals back entry, makes his way through the Duplessis gates at speed in a race for the first time here in 2026.
Tagliani already making moves, swings to the inside, down the backstretch towards turn number 6. Top 3 nose to tail. Girelli got a little squirrely through that corner. He loses some ground at the top 3.
There goes Tagliani. So he moves now to the inside, so that is an awesome spot to set up a pass, and that's what he was doing. He knows this track, and he knows, okay, well, this might not put me in a good stand right now, but what I'm doing is I'm setting up for the next set of corners, and that's the way you make your way through this field.
Do you get the feeling Andrew Ranger just drives with a big smile on his face when he's this close to the front?
I get the feeling he drives with a big smile on his face in most occasions. Man, especially when he's here at the Grand Prix de Trois-Rivières. He's the defending race winner. He won here last year, and the crowd absolutely erupted.
Well, for the first many years of this event, I want to say it was almost 8 to 10 years before he finished outside of the top 2.
Yeah. Been so good here, and then drivers like Kevin Lacroix showed up as Lacroix wiggles a little bit under heavy braking, and again, that's the area where there are some significant bumps that have shown themselves here in 2026. Harder under braking, and when you're downshifting as well, you really have to be careful. Alex Gannett keeping pace in the Miso Jur number 39, brand new sponsor for that team for this race here at the Grand Prix de Trois-Rivières, and he is super pumped to get back here. He's won here before, and he thinks he has a really good opportunity here in 2026.
That win here in this race is what convinced them to go full-time racing with the NASCAR Canada Series. That's how big a deal it is to win the Grand Prix de Trois-Rivières.
Especially if you're from Quebec. But even if you're DJ Kennington, remember he won this race back in 2013. DJ Kennington, it was like he had won the Daytona 500 winning here, beating drivers like Andrew Ranger and the other drivers who were in the field. That was a huge win for a driver like Kennington.
He passed Jacques Villeneuve that day for the lead. I think it was for the lead.
Look at Ranger to the inside, taking a peek under braking, decides not to, jumps back into the racing line, but definitely Kevin Lacroix knows he's there.
And now Kevin Lacroix's got to battle his own pride. He is the pole sitter tomorrow. He does not need to battle this battle. But guess what? He also doesn't need to let Andrew Ranger go by.
Two pretty good friends, actually, outside of racing in Kevin Lacroix and Andrew Ranger. Look at two different lines through these final sets of corners, 9, 10, 11, and onto the front straightaway.
I almost liken it to boxing and someone throwing a lot of fakes and jabs that don't mean anything. Ranger is all over the racetrack with no intention of making a move until he makes a move. But Kevin Lacroix's got to be getting dizzy looking in his mirror.
And you talked about the lap times in the first of two OmniFab duels. So Kevin Lacroix just did a 1:08.9. So the first driver to dive into the 1:08s, Andrew Ranger a 1:09.0.
Yeah,
so those two of the quickest cars that have been out on track in race trim.
Otherwise, nobody else has even gone very low into the 109s in this race. So we'll keep an eye on that as the race goes on, as the fuel burns off, as Ranger again getting good runs up off the corner.
Points up for grabs, though, for the top 5 finishers here in this OmniFab Sprint as part of the Grand Prix de Trois-Rivières weekend and the lead up to the Car Gurus 45 tomorrow afternoon.
When it comes to building a notebook for these race cars, so Andrew Ranger has competed in, I believe, every Grand Prix de Trois-Rivières since NASCAR started coming here in 2007. This is a new tire, so it'll change the notebooks a little bit. Never before have these teams had the opportunity to build a notebook prior to race day. But this is race conditions. All you're leaving out is maybe some use of the front bumper if you really wanted to get impatient. But otherwise, it's invaluable data. Ranger knows exactly where he can close in on Kevin Lacroix. So does Kevin Lacroix by looking in his mirror.
And what the teams will be doing is taking a look at those McCreary tires and checking for tire wear and tire pressures. How much did those tires grow as Kevin Lacroix got awfully loose on corner exit turn number 6?
Gets up towards that tire barrier. That'll give you the same kind of scuff that Cameron got in his number 96 car earlier on, but Kevin Lacroix pulling away just a little bit. The same thought process that Lacroix is going through has to be going through the mind of Andrew Ranger, because if he passes Lacroix tomorrow, he's still only going to start third. If he stays behind him, he's going to start third. So it really comes down to how much do I want to make a statement? He's not going to risk his race car.
Someone once told me winning a qualifying heat does not pay the mortgage, and that would be the case for Andrew Ranger. Yeah, it would be great to visit Victory Lane, but you don't really need to. I'm looking at the leaderboard and the ticker going across your screen. You see Alex Tagliani just passed Rafael Lassard and is now up into 5th spot. That's a big move for the driver of the 80.
Big time. He's back where he should have started.
Yeah, so he started way back around 9th, I believe, with Sam Fellows, JP Bergeron, and JF Dumoulin hasn't been able to move up all that much. He's sitting in 8th in the 04. Tagliani has marched forward, and he hasn't had any clean air around him. He's had to do it the hard way.
It's surprising that both of our leaders, Kevin Lacroix with a 109.3, Andrew Ranger, his most recent lap is a 109.6. Makes me wonder if crew chiefs or spotters didn't come on the radio and say, hey, smarten up. We don't need to push the pace this hard. These are the tires you have to race on tomorrow.
That's true, and you can see the Best Buy Superior number 84 of Larry Jackson. Problems under the hood of that one, so he is down pit lane, and it looks like his first foray in an OmniFab Sprint is going to end early as Tagliani's going to take another one from Vittorio Girelli, so that moves the driver of the 80 up into 4th spot. And again, as you mentioned, every position gained is 2 positions on your starting order for the race come tomorrow.
So it goes from the inside of row number 5 to the inside of row number 4. Provisionally, if he's able to stay there, he's got a lot of ground to make up, but plenty of time to do it.
See a pretty tight-knit group of cars just in behind, so he'll really have to get going now to catch anybody else ahead of him.
I still say keep your eyes on JF Dumoulin. The slicker these tires get comparatively, the better Dumoulin gets versus the competition, and he is just behind this quartet of drivers.
He has the potential to make up a few starting spots as Girelli goes very wide on the exit of turn number 9, but don't believe he lost any further positions. Coming off, no, he's still ahead of Rafael Lazard in the Trois-Rivières Lions number 7.
Tagliani through turn 1. They only use about half of the racetrack on exit of turn 1 when they're not in a battle. Puts them into better position to enter turn 2. Tagliani driving away from that group, but J.F. Dumoulin drives towards the back end of Donald Teague in the 73.
Alex Gannett has lost touch with the leaders just a little bit. The top 2 have stretched out. Gannett is now 5.5 seconds back from your race leader. And yeah, you're right. Alex Tagliani is about half a second quicker than Alex Gannett that last time by, and he's only 2.1 seconds further back. So there's the potential that Alex Tagliani could catch and could potentially pass the 39 of Gannett.
So these spotters and crew chiefs and the drivers in the seat, Alex Gannett can look in his rearview mirror and say, hey, he's closing in. Does he have a little bit in the tank? Gannett probably does.
I would say.
Or you've got the understanding that, look, this is the pace I'm going to run, because if I run any faster, I feel like I'm going to burn up my rope.
Halfway down for your race leader and the rest of the field that comes screaming through. The difference at the front now is 2 seconds. So it sounds like Andrew Ranger has sort of settled into a pace that's comfortable with him, and Kevin Lacroix is still out in front. So Kevin Lacroix is guaranteed to be your pole sitter for tomorrow's Car Gurus 45, and it looks like Andrew Ranger is settling in to accept his 3rd place starting spot. Touch wood, everything goes well. We still have half a race to complete here.
Lots can change. Donald Teague swings to the outside of Rafael Lazard. Remember, this was around the point of the race where we saw drivers start to miss turn 6.
Drivers swinging around. You can see the back end getting a little happy as well. These McCreary tires starting to heat up. They have actually, for a first season on a brand new tire, there was a lot of questions coming into this season. What these McCreary tires have shown is that they do tend to last a long time. You look at Calabogie Motorsports Park, the leaders were putting in their fastest laps on lap 45. The end of the race, the fastest laps were coming. So these tires hold on, and problems for the 73 of Donald Teague.
Donald Teague comes up lane, heading down towards the start-finish line. Not a good spot on the racetrack.
He just passed pit lane, too, so to get him all the way back to pit lane, if in fact that car is broken, is going to take an awfully long time.
Lacroix out in front. Still sending that car deep into turn 6, a 109.7 compared to Andrew Ranger's 110.4 last time by.
Just checking to see where the 74 is going to end up. Donald Teague has been playing this game for a long time, so he will know to find a runoff area. If that car can't make it back down to pit lane, he will know to find a runoff area and park it so it's not in the middle of the track. He doesn't want to disturb the flow of this race, and again, not running for points is the key thing.
And we don't know if the car maybe is stuck in one gear or knocked out a gear, can't get into any. There's a big difference between limping a car around the track back to the pits and having a true failure where you're only going to go as far as momentum will take you. But this is about, if he was only going as far as momentum would carry him, it'd be right in this part of the racetrack.
I thought I saw some smoke from the left front corner of that car, so I don't know, it might have been a suspension failure. And look who has caught the 39. Tagliani has been on a tear this entire race. I don't know if he's been driving angry because he was put back for where he should have been starting, but this has been fun to watch.
So let's rewind this season. He was in a battle for the win at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park with Kyle Steckley. Had a bad wreck. They badly damaged both ends of that race car. It went back to McCall's. It went through extensive repairs. And then he won at Calabogie.
Yeah, and I asked Donald Teague ahead of that race, and when they pulled into Calabogie, I said, is this a new car? And he said, it might as well have been. We had to replace pretty much everything on this car, but Calabogie showed that this car was very, very competitive, and here again at the Grand Prix de Trois-Rivières, Tagliani has been quick. Last year, he caught an inside wall and broke a suspension piece early on, and yeah, there's Donald Teague has made his way back, but it looks like his race is done early.
looking under the car, the only thing you would be looking for is drips or if the drive shaft was broke or something. But if it was broke, he wouldn't have made it all the way around.
Serge Bordeaux in the Excellence Chrysler number 55 slides into the runoff area. That was turn number 6. Avoids hitting anything, so the runoff area did its job, and we stay green.
See if Alex Tagliani can make a move at the end of the straightaway. He's closing in, now drives to the inside, down into the corner. Gannett going to battle him side by side, but I don't think he's going to have much fight for Tagliani.
He's in the wrong spot now. They'll drag race through turn number 7, which is just a little kink on his way to turn 8, and he does fight off the challenge of the 80 car. So hats off to the driver of the 39.
How dare you doubt Alex Gannett? He's a former champion of this
contact.
race.
That time Tagliani forced his way in. Now Gannett's going to say, right?
That was an ill-timed maneuver because Alex Gannett is as good as anybody at showing you he's not happy with what you've done.
There's no horns in these cars, but there sure is a bumper, and there you have some side rubbing. Who said that there wasn't going to be any aggression here in the Omnifab sprints? And watch this.
Tagliani just opened himself up to getting absolutely routed in turn number 2, and that's what Gannett did. They'll race down into 3. Damage on the front end of that 80 machine as Alex Gannett retakes the spot.
Yeah, I think what Tagliani did was he crinkled that Gannett paper and then tried to read it afterwards, and Gannett was like, you know, I'm not going to stand for this, and the payback was imminent.
This all could have been avoided, David.
We just talked about it.
So I don't know that Tagliani has it in him to pay back Gannett. Gannett will route you. Tagliani will drive into a hole that may or may not be there. He'll make one, but I don't know if he'll drive into your back end.
I don't know if he will either, and right now he's searching for a way by. He's still hungry. He wants that 3rd place as the laps continue to tick off, and there's a lockup, so that's a rare mistake from the driver. Yeah, we talked about this. These are the tires that they need to start tomorrow's race on.
So Alex Gannett is proving a point. Tagliani will rub you from the side, but not really get in the back of you. Gannett will get in the back of you if need be, especially now if he feels like the door has been shut. Oh, Tagliani gets loose through turn 2. Gannett going to close back in into 3. Not a good place to seek revenge. Tagliani with the spot. Gannett falls back 1. Garelli closing in. That was fun.
Yeah, so is Rafael Lessard. He's right there as well. Lessard in the shadow of Girelli, and now Gannett takes a peek. He's feeling the mirror of the 80 of Alex Tagliani. Tagliani knows he's got a hot rod. That's the thing.
Yeah, but he's got a dinged up hot rod now.
Yeah, he sure does. And with flat spotted right front tire, because we saw how long he locked it up as well. So did he let the emotion of the moment get the better of him?
Well, of course he did. That's why we love racing.
I know. Tell a race car driver to be calm when there's a potential position to be gained.
I don't like the looks of that right front. Oh boy, I don't like the looks of that either. Who dat?
White flag is up. I didn't see who that was. I think it was an all-white race car.
Yeah.
Either way, we stay green.
Benoit could, no?
Oh, it's Andrew Ranger.
Oh no.
Ranger with heavy smoke. He is your 3rd place starter. Potentially, he's got to make it all the way back around.
He's not going to pull off. There's no way he pulls off. So if you're behind Andrew Ranger, your spotter is doing double duty.
So what is it that's leaking out of this 27 car? He was quick. We know he was quick. As a matter of fact, he put in one of the fastest laps of the race earlier on, chasing the Napa Racing number 74 of Kevin Lacroix. But the big story is your current 2nd place runner, Andrew Ranger.
Lacroix coming through turn 10. Now the turn 11 kink. Should be checkered flag in the air for Kevin Lacroix, who takes Omnifab sprint race number 2. Ranger comes home 2nd, but at what cost?
Ranger didn't give up because the gap was quite short at the end. Tagliani will come home 3rd ahead of Alex Gannett, and Vittorio Girelli will round out the top 5. Expect words pit side between Tagliani and Gannett for sure after this one.
It may not take that long.
they may have some hand signal words on the cool down lap of this one as the rest of the field comes through. Big congratulations to the winner of the second Omni-Fab Sprint here at the Grand Prix de Trois-Rivières, Kevin Lacroix. We'll take a quick break and we'll wrap things up here after the 2 Omni-Fab Sprints. And welcome back to the Grand Prix de Trois-Rivières in Trois-Rivières, Quebec. I'm Dave Bradley. Joined with me is Adam Ross, and there is the winner of the second Omni-Fab Sprint, Kevin Lacroix, who led from the drop of the green. So 2 sprint races, both 15 laps, and 2 race winners coming from their pole starting spot.
Do you think Kevin Lacroix is upset when there's physical action like that at the end of a race and he wasn't involved?
I think a little bit. He loves it. Not so much anymore. He has matured a little bit in his later years, but man, when he first came into the NASCAR Canada Series, if there was an issue, a dust-up, it was often involving the driver of the 74.
Let's also remember he clean swept a full calendar year of road races.
Yes, you're right.
Won every one consecutively. So a lot of that excitement came on oval tracks because he was still kind of cutting his teeth, but pretty darn good.
Yeah. He's learning how to use his elbows in that one for sure, but he knows here how to get things done. As you take a look at the top 10 finishers, Lacroix, Ranger, Tagliani and Alex Gannett getting involved in that one as he comes home ahead of the 39.
Huge variation fast laps in this one compared to the first one, and there was a lot of conversation that this one was the more competitive of the 2 sprints.
You're right, actually. Girelli, Lassard, Dumoulin, Sam Fellows, JP Bergeron, Simon Zion-Vienne will round out the top 10. Interesting. We're going to try to find out more about the 27 of Andrew Ranger, as you see the rest of the finishers on your screen there. Larry Jackson, 10 laps down after ending his race early. Donald Teach with problems too, but Andrew Ranger showing heavy smoke at the end of that race out of the GM Paille number 27. So crew's got a little bit of work to do, but as of right now, he's going to start 3rd.
Let's have a look at the highlights from this one. Kevin Lacroix with the lead from the drop of the green, but boy, oh boy, it was like old times watching Kevin Lacroix. We still have those times with Andrew Ranger hounding the 74, but just matching him move for move. It was beautiful to watch.
Cars move around a lot, braking in, especially there on the entrance of turn number 6, and you have that hump on the apex, but there was contact and there was aggression between these 2 drivers.
A little bit of contact side to side, a little more contact side to side.
Tagliani ended up folding in the left front corner of that 80 car, and I believe it happened right here.
Yeah, close quarters, and Gannett squeezed him down a little bit into the corner. Tagliani squeezed him up. JP Bergeron
took a quick trip in the E-Racer #1 into the runoff area, and there is the heavy smoke from the 27 of Andrew Ranger. This is on the last lap, keep in mind, so it didn't have to smoke too long, but it's coming right from the center front of the car, so that could potentially be a new engine and a loss of a starting spot if that's what it takes. Have a look. You can see the smoke coming from underneath that car.
Yeah, you're absolutely.
It's not coming out the exhaust pipes. We know that. Or the rear end. But yeah, it's coming from either engine, and likely engine, not transmission at this point. But,
no, for sure. I hate to agree with you because I just don't enjoy doing it.
But how about Sylvain Lacroix, Kevin Lacroix's father, giving a good thumbs up, sitting on top of the pit box, and a happy man as his son visits victory lane here in the second of 2 Omnifab sprints.
He loves this stuff.
Oh, he loves it, yeah. You know what he loves even more than this stuff? He loves winning this stuff. Yep. That's for sure. As Kevin Lacroix has visited victory lane a couple of times already here in 2026. Again, comes in second in points behind the 96, the Marc-Antoine Cameron. Both of them gained some points for winning in the Omnifab sprints, so they'll keep pace at 54 points, the difference between first and second.
It's a big gap. This race with 30 cars, you look at CTMP, a few weeks from now, there's going to be a lot of cars there. Those are going to be the make it or break it events where you cannot afford a mishap, or you could be in a lot of trouble in this points battle.
Yeah, Markham's going to have a lot of cars as well. It's going to be a new event on the calendar. So, yeah, there are potential opportunities there for drivers to make up ground in the point standings. But we didn't talk about that a lot in these Omnifab sprints because that's going to be the story tomorrow, the overall points championship and the big picture racing. This was all about securing a good starting spot for tomorrow's Car Gurus 45.
And not taking any guff, Dave.
Yeah, well, that's it.
They don't take no guff.
Nobody. Well, if you're Alex Gannett or Alex Tagliani, there's no guff taken.
And I think it's an opportunity to properly look at that. You'd have to go back to the very first move Tagliani made. Obviously, it rubbed Gannett the wrong way, quite literally, because he made life miserable for Tag, and then Tag made life miserable for Gannett, and they both might have hurt themselves for tomorrow.
Potentially. I think maybe Tagliani, just judging by the look of the car, there seemed to be a lot more body damage sort of folded in on that car compared to the 39 of Alex Gannett, but we'll have to see. The crews, again, will take a good hard look at it, but can't change too much, really.
We still don't know why Tagliani started as far back as he did.
Yeah, why you had to drive that hard in the first place.
Right? So, tune in. We will get these answers. Dave will have them written in his book.
I have I have many leather-bound books of notes.
Do they work for you?
No. I do love it. I get down rabbit holes. Bryce Turner is our stats man extraordinaire, and he often supplies with some stats as well leading into a race. But I find myself diving down rabbit holes of stats as well. I mean, you know, we talk about how good Andrew Ranger has been here at GP3R. He's ran 18 races here. He's had 13 top 10s. That's a 72% rate of finishing in the top 10s.
That's all?
Yes.
Of his top 10s, how many of those are top 2s?
That part I didn't check, but his average finish is 6.6. It's 18 starts, 6.6 and 18. He's had some wrecks. Remember the wreck with Kevin Lacroix where he absolutely got leapfrogged on lap number 1, so that means he finished last, so that's going to affect his overall. But you just look at drivers like that and how good they are. LP Dumoulin is so good here. Alex Labbe has won a championship, and he's never won here.
I mentioned it the first how many years he never finished worse than second. That's impressive.
That is.
You tell me 10 top 10s out of 18 races?
13.
He's Andrew freaking Ranger.
13 top 10s. Only 5 times he's finished outside the top 10.
I promise you, if you talk to him, Andrew, disappointed you missed the top 10 5 times. Like, what? No, I didn't.
All right.
He would say, Dave Bradley, you are lying to me.
It's not me, it's the stats. Stats don't lie.
How do you put up with me? Why? You're being punished. You realize that.
I've done something in my past life.
LP Dumoulin, super popular in Trois-Rivières. Alex Labay, very popular wherever he goes.
For sure.
Both of them.
But yeah, like, that's a perfect example of a great NASCAR Canada Series driver who's gone down to run very well on road and street circuits down in the U.S. in the former Xfinity Series, now the O'Reilly Series. And Alex Labay has never won here at the Grand Prix de Trois-Rivières.
This might be his weekend. He was fastest in practice. He was #1 in practice. Not quite there in his qualifying Omnifab sprint, but still pretty darn good.
Another one he'll have to beat is Kevin Lacroix, and again, another one who's been very, very good here at the Grand Prix de Trois-Rivières, and so has Marc-Antoine Cameron. And again, we talked about his history. Post-race interview happening. It's going to happen in French. We'll let you hear it, and then we'll try to bring you the English version as soon as we can.
We will translate it on the fly.
On the fly.
And we will tell you what we wish they had said.
Yes.
Yeah, we can tell you what they said, but
it's more fun.
Which for Kevin, usually what we wish he said is exactly what he says.
Oh, he doesn't hold back. He never holds back, and that's what's great about Kevin Lacroix in an interview. And you know what? Even if you talk to him in the pits, he doesn't sugarcoat anything.
Nope.
He will give it to you as straight as you would like it. And so now it appears as though the man in the jacket is going to step up to the microphone. And it appears as though we lost the feed, so we can translate, but we can't read lips, unfortunately.
So he goes from referee stripes in pre-race to zebra stripes in post-race.
Is a man of many, many coats.
He had a magenta metallic coat yesterday. I'm sure you've seen it.
Oh, yes. That one's been a favorite of many years.
So in the first of the two events,
third place, number 47, LP Dumoulin.
a lot of racetracks, this is the end of the racing day at Grand Prix de Trois-Rivières. A lot of places would empty out, but you can hear all the suites on that are basically behind the cameras right now are still occupied. The fans still line the fences.
And that's what's so unique about this place compared to, you know, all of the other racetracks. It is and I call it a motorsports festival, as I call up the second place finisher, Alex Labay. But I've been here, and it has been pouring rain in years past, pouring rain on a Sunday morning. And you look up to the grandstands, and sitting up in the top seat is somebody at 8 o'clock in the morning, because they wanted their seat, and they're sitting there in the rain, no action on track for another 2.5 hours, but they're there to get wet and just be a part of Grand Prix de Trois-Rivières. That's how special this event is.
Where were you at 7:30 this morning, Dave?
I was getting on a plane.
I was climbing over the bridge from the Hippodrome to the facility, and there was probably 100 people in line because they hadn't opened the spectator gates just yet. But they were waiting in line because they have a spot they need to be at, because not all of this is reserved seating. There's a lot of general admission, and people have their spots where they want to be. There's some great spots around the racetrack with a good view of the big screen TV, so you can see all the replays.
There's Marc-Antoine Cameron, your winner, getting his trophy. Again, the podium finishers for the first Omnifab sprint. The representative from Omnifab standing up on the top step alongside Marc-Antoine Cameron, Alex Labay, and LP Dumoulin.
How many championships are standing up there right now? 7?
Yep. And a significant lead for an 8th.
Yeah. Cameron's off to a pretty good start.
Yeah.
I think that boy's got a shot.
Yeah, I don't want to hedge anything right now, but keep your eye on that 96 here in 2026. So they're going to have a victory missed celebration moment.
Someone doesn't have access to a washing machine. Alex LeBay ran off.
Do you know what's unique about this, though? It's a sparkling water, so it's alcohol-free, but it also doesn't make your race suit sticky. That's what's unique about this new product. So you'll start to see it pop up. That's what Alex Tagliani's saying. He's like, no, we can do it. It's okay.
Wow. And so we were impressed by the last trio. Look at this trio about to go up on the podium. We are blessed with really good racers in NASCAR Canada, especially when you go to a road course. I mean, these are world elite talent race car drivers.
Yeah, and there you can see Alan Labrosse from NASCAR Canada. Dominic Fougere, the promoter here at the Grand Prix de Trois-Rivières, chatting with Alex Tagliani. Is the man in the interesting jacket. Welcomes up your third place finisher.
Great
Alex
drive.
Tagliani.
He put on a show, didn't he?
Oh, he sure did, yeah. And I'm sure that's what Dominic Fougere, the promoter here, was talking about. He's like, do more of that tomorrow, please.
The race car drivers in this series from Quebec are treated so much differently in Quebec than the rest of the drivers are treated in the rest of the country. They are elite level sporting celebrities. In the real news stream, like in the mainstream media, these are well-known names in Quebec. So Dominic Fougere, a brilliant promoter, smart guy. He knows what he wants from these drivers.
Oh, for sure. Andrew Ranger jumping up onto the second step of the podium. He'll get his photo taken just before he does that. And Ranger smiling after second place, does not look concerned about, so it might have been an oil line that just got loose. That's always the potential about a smoke show at the end of a race. And it wasn't that long that it was loose, so the risk of harming the engine is pretty low.
Well, I think you're excited too, because really this would have happened at the 25% mark of tomorrow's race.
Really good point, yeah. And under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have had the opportunity to give it this test. So, yeah, you're right.
So when bad luck becomes good luck, we will see how things turn out for Ranger and where he winds up having to start, depending on what work they have to do to the car.
There is your podium finishers in the second Omnifab sprint. Kevin Lacroix, Andrew Ranger, and Alex Tagliani with a representative from Omnifab.
Well, they were all excited to move on to the spraying of the victory mist, and one of the photographers didn't get their shot.
There it is. Look at Ranger.
Ranger pulls a what is it with our second place finishers?
They want nothing to do with this, but Tagliani and Kevin Lacroix having a good swig here on the podium. That's the way it should be done, right?
You know what? These drivers have traded impressive passes, ugly. Okay, Andrew, I respect the surprise attack by Andrew Ranger. Okay, well done.
The email was in the junk folder. He just found it.
Once he realized there's no alcohol, I mean, they might as well spray it. But these drivers have been on the receiving end and the giving end of success and failure and tough finishes and tough results. Days where you leave the track not impressed with each other.
Oh, yeah.
But never, I think, would any of them doubt the talent that everybody else up there right now possesses.
Yeah, and you said it. We are blessed with the talent that we have racing in the NASCAR Canada Series and in Canada in general. I mean, some of those names on both podiums are just legends in NASCAR here in Canada. And you know what? They're going to be all together on track same time tomorrow for 45 laps. And the Car Gurus 45. And they'll start on the same tires that they raced this race with as well. So that's an added variable into this event for tomorrow.
It's going to be a great deal of fun. Yesterday was sticky, wicked hot. Today was pretty warm, but a little bit overcast. The sun did come out, but not grossly hot. We will see what tomorrow has in order. Whatever it is, the fans are going to show up in great numbers.
Oh, they will be. It was packed here today, and it'll be even more so tomorrow, enjoying the festival that is Grand Prix de Trois-Rivières. And again, a big congratulations to our winners here in the OmniFab Sprints, 15-lap dash races to set the starting lineup for tomorrow's race. And, of course, Marc-Antoine Cameron taking the first one. Kevin Lacroix will start on pole for tomorrow's feature race after taking the second race. For Adam Ross, I'm Dave Bradley. Thanks very much for joining us for the OmniFab Sprints. Join us again tomorrow for the Car Gurus 45 here at Grand Prix de Trois-Rivières.
Authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.